So Fallout 76 got another new trailer. Don't get too excited, we don't have any new gameplay or anything like that, but in reality what we're actually looking at is another one of these You Will Emerge series of trailers. The thing you may have noticed on the channel thus far is I haven't really been looking at the actual kind of cartoony aspects of these trailers all too closely, and even the one we just got at QuakeCon I didn't really take a deeper dive at. The reason being I thought these were largely just to be funny or comedic or kind of explain some of the basic gameplay elements, while in reality I feel like a lot of them actually show off things that aren't talked about or shown anywhere else, and actually are gameplay features that will exist in Fallout 76. I only really came to this conclusion after watching back some of the old trailers and looking at new information we have on the game and realizing, oh, that trailer showed that off like 3 weeks ago. So for this one, even though there isn't a crazy amount of information, I think that does show us some pretty interesting things about Fallout 76, and I did want to look at some of those. I'll have a full link to the trailer down below, but otherwise I'll kind of be going frame by frame through it as to what I think looks particularly interesting. The focus of this one is working with others, like co-op, not just fighting other people as we saw in one of the other trailers. Unfortunately, again, there is no in-game game footage, but the footage we do get seems to be indicative of how it'll play out in-game. So throughout this trailer, we actually get a few looks at the player character interacting with an Assaultron. Assaultrons were of course a major robot in Fallout 4, and it seems like in Fallout 76, robot crafting, or at least robot companions, will be making a return. At one point, the main character kind of has his robot attack another player, seemingly as if it was an enemy, and it was at that moment it really seems like it is indicating that you will be able to have a robot companion. Up until this point, I don't think we really had a confirmation of companions at any point, and although this one isn't a kind of explicit confirmation based off the trailer and what they're showing, I think it does seem pretty likely. A lot of the other gameplay elements from past trailers did turn out to be real features, so I imagine with this one it's also going to follow suit. Another thing they do show off is seemingly the ability to join random groups. So obviously Fallout 76 is going to have kind of a 4-player co-op mode. If you guys watched some of my videos going over the perk cards, the charisma stat now heavily affects the other 3 players you are playing with, giving them bonuses, and it seems like it's a game that is fundamentally built to be played with other people, not really by yourself. Well, as they kind of do more explicitly say in this trailer, it looks like you don't have to know those people ahead of time, just on the fly as you're playing through Fallout 76. If you see another group of players, you will have the ability to easily join in with them. Something to note here, it actually shows communicating through emotes at the QuakeCon panel. They actually told us originally they only wanted you to be able to communicate through emotes, but realize you can really convey enough information or make the interactions interesting enough, and now you also do have proximity voice chat in addition to emotes. At one instance, you could actually see one of the characters open up a door and the house explode, although probably not as exaggerated in the trailer. This seems to indicate that door booby traps are going to be a thing in this game. I can already see how frustrating that will be to be the victim of, and how awesome it's going to be to see somebody actually use one of those. Even how they have it set up here, there is going to be player-to-player trading in this, so being able to set up some signs outside of a building indicating it's a shop, only to booby trap the door and kill whatever players open that door, looks like it'll be pretty satisfying in this game, and I could definitely see a lot of YouTube videos around that. And also in that same clip, we find out you could actually loot your ally corpses, so people that are in your group that do die, and if you live, you can loot junk off of their bodies. In Fallout 76, the only items you actually drop on death are junk. That was really the bulk of what we saw as far as new features go, but another interesting thing I took out of this was actually some of the different weapons and equipment we saw throughout the trailer. Based off what we've seen in past trailers, it seems like the weapons these cartoonish characters carry in these are actually indicative of things that will appear in the later game. From that it follows that quite a few of these are actually new and interesting from this trailer. Mines and bear traps are making a return. Mines were pretty obvious, but bear traps weren't nearly as well known in Fallout 4, and that's pretty cool to see. A revolver that we've actually seen in some of these previous trailers is shown off, and I don't think it's a 44 revolver. It may be, but I feel like this one actually looks quite a bit different and actually looks like some of those more old school revolvers like a Lamont. We've already seen a bunch of other kind of time period focused weapons coming in this game, so I don't even think it's that unlikely to have a mid-19th century revolver appearing in this game. You see the Shishkebab, which has appeared in almost every Fallout at this point, a Hatchet, not really too exciting, although the pistol there looks like a 1911. Semi-automatic pistols isn't something we really had a ton of as far as custom pistols went in Fallout 4. You had the classics like the 10mm, and of course you did have the pipe weapons, but everyone hated those, right? A 1911 would definitely fit right in with this game because we're getting other World War II era weapons also. A Pitchfork, which I can already see how people are going to love to use this and troll with it. A spiked bat and musket, we already knew about those. videos, and then the drill. So originally I thought the drill was just kind of a character piece to be used in the background of some of these You Will Emerge videos, but now I'm thinking it actually is a real weapon. A lot of the other weapons that are in the same shot we already have had confirmed from some of the actual gameplay, so I would assume it only follows that the drill is also going to appear in this game. Either way, it's pretty much going to wrap it up for this one. Not nearly as feature rich as some of the other gameplay we've seen, but I definitely think there's quite a few interesting tidbits from this that I don't particularly want to get ignored. Either way, as always, I thank you all again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.